الصراحة I was gonna wait to talk about this so I was gonna wait to do this real talk when I got my new mic بس إني صراحة ما قدرت أستنى التوبيك مرة داخل مخي بزيادة I'm just I need to anyways هاي شلة من زمان عنكم مرة آسفة إني طولت التوبيك حق اليوم honestly I had multiple topics بس إن the topic that got me talking the most مع نفسي was this one which is regret regret falls under مليون شيء دقيقة الحمد لله anyways regret falls under many things people regret things they bought, people regret relationships, people regret friendships, people regret going somewhere, people regret a lot of things regret زي ما قلت falls under a lot of things. A lot of the times when we feel regret it's very natural, we're human, but a lot of the times the regret we feel is just cause you're a good person. For example the regret, okay, you cut someone off. When you cut someone off, for example, let's say ex-best friend, when you cut someone off, there was a reason. You put yourself first, you made yourself a priority, and you prioritized yourself, and you saw your self-worth, and you were like, I have to end this for that reason, whatever reason that was, it was valid to you, and it's still valid, even if you decide to change your mind later, you know that what you cut them off for was valid and nothing changes that. For you, later on regretting cutting them off is just انتي قلبك you're just so used to being a good person in that you don't think that anyone can be a bad one. When you cut people off for bad things they did because of the bad person they are, you feel that guilt in I miss them, I'm not, they changed, whether they didn't mean it, well, I know them better, they would never do that again to me, whatever they did to you, whether it was as something, whether it was them talking about you behind your back, hurting you physically or mentally, they did that to you. They crossed that line with you. Once someone crosses that line with you, they will keep crossing that line as soon as they can see that you allowed it to keep happening. And as hard as it is, I'm being a hypocrite by saying this. I've cut people off and I let them back into my life. And the one thing I did learn in cutting people off and letting them back into your life is not something to do. قفلتي ذا الباب for a reason. Do not open it back up because للأسف people don't change. People change by growing up. بس the way they think, the morals, most of the time, I'm not gonna say all the time, but most of the time, it really doesn't change. وهذا اللي يزعل إنه you're such a good person and you don't see people like that. You see them you valued them in such a high way, you had them in such a high place عندك, you thinking of all the bad things doesn't outweigh the good things that come to your mind. وهذا اللي يزعل لأنه there's so many times where I want to contact an old friend or I want to check up on them or tell them I miss them or I'll cry about them. But I promise اللي صار for a reason. Everything happens for a reason الصراحة. Whether it's to show you someone's true colors or whether it's to save you from something. أحسن إنه صار شيء من بدري than you finding out or you figuring it out بموقف أسوأ لنفسك. As hard as it is and as bad as you want to, keep that door closed because it's gonna happen again or something worse will happen and it happened for a reason. And just because you're a good person doesn't mean they are. And don't put yourself in a position where you can get hurt again, where you can get taken advantage of again. I'm saying this from a perspective in I'm still learning this type of thing. I'm very aware of it. I'm very aware in I shouldn't let people back in, but I still do because I believe in it. Everyone's a good person. I I just can't. I كده اللي مرة قلبي بيعورني إن to believe in someone that I love and someone that I respect would do something bad to me or would treat me badly or would talk about me. وهذا اللي يزعل. In life you will realize in people I wouldn't say bad, but people don't care about you as much as they care about themselves. And a lot of the times they don't respect you as much as that you respect them. يزعل. I'm telling you, يزعل. Like I could cry about this right now with y'all, but it's really not worth it. I'm not in the mood to cry. But if I would have recorded this yesterday, I would have bawled my eyes out. Not gonna lie. But for real, you know, like let me give an example. Or when you regret things like, let's think of another example. When you regret yelling at your sibling or being mean to your siblings, حبيبي ترى it's your first time living too. You're learning how to treat them. And whether it's you treat them that way because of resentment or that's because what you saw growing up, it's not your fault. أهم شيء إنك you learn those traits, you learn those behaviors ويتصلح اللي غلط فهمتي. You better yourself لأن bettering yourself is you مو بس respecting yourself. It's like giving yourself كذا like self-worth because you know what you're capable of doing. You know what you're capable. It's how you view yourself. How you view yourself is how you want others to view you. Until you allow yourself to be disrespected like this, no one's gonna view you like that. وهذا اللي يزعل. You know, and then sometimes you're like no, I respect myself وإنه كذا كذا. And no, I'll let them back into my life. عادي, they're not gonna do it. And we were close before. And then they go and they, again, you know, whatever they did, whatever they do, and they do it again, and then you're just hurt. Your ego's just hurt, and you're just like كذا تداري مع نفسك. And مرة يزعل, and you don't want to put yourself through that heartbreak. Like I'm telling you right now, one thing I learned: do not open those doors. Do not open as bad as you want to. They close for a reason. They close for a reason. And it's really hard. It's really hard. Like I'm telling you all this, and most likely you will open those doors. It's a canon event. You will learn these things. This is the type of thing in your life that you have to experience to understand. And I could be telling you all this right now, but you'll be like, la, this is different. She didn't experience this friendship, or she didn't experience this relationship, or she didn't experience هذا اللي صار معي. We're all human. الevents هذه اللي تصير relationships friendships هذه كلها it's very much predictable, especially when you know people, when you understand the way people think and you understand the way people view you. للأسف it doesn't change for them. They're kind of like kids, man. If you say no to something and they like and you say yes, they're gonna so you saying that yes every time. Another thing about regret is regretting like choices. زي for example major. Okay, major بتخصصك بالجامعة. You regret picking that major and oh my god, 2 years went by and I want to change my major. Okay, and pick the major you want. Whose life is it? Whose the name's gonna be on that diploma? في الأخير you're working towards what you want. Whether it takes you 5 years or 10 years, you're working towards what you want. في ناس حرفيا عمرهم كم 40 داخلين الجامعة عشان بيطلعوا الدبلومة ويتخرجوا بالدبلومة اللي هم يبوها من زمان because they didn't have access to it or they didn't believe in themselves before. Those things that you regret not doing, you will always regret them. And I always say this to myself and if it's not like risky or scary, but like I don't know, YOLO. But if there's a chance of me doing something I want to do, and there's a chance of me getting hurt, fine. There's a chance of me failing, fine. But I will do it because I would rather say, oh my god, I tried it and it didn't work, or oh my god, I tried it and I got hurt, rather than and then, oh my God, what would have happened if I did this, or what would have happened if, you know. مرة regret is such a like a soul eating thing. It eats at your mind because you can literally sit there with yourself and you can think about regretting something that you said or did. حرفيا like the entire night. It could be something that keeps you up, and we all know this. We all know that you be sitting in your bed كده مع نفسك and you're just like, oh my God, I regret not saying this, or I regret. If I talk to you about things I regret, I would tell you, I regret letting people walk all over me. I regret wasting a lot of my teenage years worrying about what people think. I regret not كده being confident in myself and what I can do من البداية. Then I was the type اللي I wouldn't see my self-worth until I get validation for it from someone else. يعني I would have to have it validated from الناس اللي حولي to feel like it's worthy, you know. وهذا مرة شيء غلط يعني. المفروض انت you value yourself, and if people don't see that value, they can. What else do I regret? I regret not speaking up for myself. I regret letting people back into my life that hurt me. I regret letting people take advantage of me من ناحية إن I'm a really nice person. Like I can know that you're doing something to hurt me, or like talking about me كذا. هذا من زمان. وإني أمشي because I'm just like, no, they wouldn't do that. I don't let myself believe that. وهذا شيء مرة غلط يعني. هذا الشيء مرة خلاني يعني أصير insecure because I don't believe that in my head that people would do that to me. بس للأسف people are evil, you know, and that's something you learn, man. People are not as nice as you. هذا اللي يزعل إنه you can't be a nice person with everyone. يعني I regret oversharing. I regret oversharing with a lot of people because that's something I learned, that I like privacy. People don't respect that. People only want to hear about your things لأنهم ملاقيف. They really don't care. I promise you they're not listening because they care. يعني leave your friends aside, okay? Or like your sister or whatever. Listen, people are listening because هم ملاقيف يبيعرفوا سواليفك وعنك ومدري إيه. They don't care. They don't care. يعني this goes back to me saying don't trust anyone. I regret a lot of things. يعني this is before I started telling myself إنه يعني do it whatever يعني YOLO. بس يعني I regret not doing a lot of competitions بالثانوي وبالمتوسط لأن I was scared of how I looked. I regret not being in sports that I loved, يعني not continuing in the sports that I loved لأن I was too worried about how I looked that rather than how good I was at the sport. I regret what else? I regret not putting myself first and prioritizing people before me. I regret not caring about my self-worth and my self-esteem. And these are two different things. Your self-worth, you know your value كده. Your self-esteem إن you like كده من داخل, you know, اللي you question yourself, you're insecure شوي زي كده. I regret getting close with people that I knew I couldn't trust just because I didn't have anyone else. I regret... What do I regret, Luli? I regret not enjoying moments with people that were close to me because I was too worried about any... I have abandonment issues, man. Sometimes I worry that my friends are gonna leave me, so I worry about that more than the fact that they're my friends right now. So I regret worrying. I regret worrying so much. Worrying ruins a lot. I regret overthinking a lot. That ruins a lot of stuff. I could go on and on and on. But the whole point of this is you're in control of your life. You're the one that gets to decide what you see yourself as, what you want people to see you as, your self-worth. All of that. It's all up to you. You know? I know, man. Did you eat dinner, baby? I'm just... I regret not being nicer to my siblings when I was growing up, but I just like, I think it's like a big sister thing, so I think it's fine. I think it gave them character development, so I'm just not. I regret, um, I regret, what else do I regret? I regret not trying harder in a lot of things. I procrastinate a lot, and then I regret it later, so I regret that. Now, um, I regret not knowing how to save money. I love spending money a lot, but that's irrelevant. We all have that issue. لو سمحتي كاميرا لا تتحرك. Yeah, that's enough for today's real talk. صراحة يعني it's very much straight to the point. I don't want to get too emotional on here. Imagine, embarrassing. Me posting a video of me crying. Never. Never.